Yes.
Yeah, chalo, ठीक है. So in this class we are going to study the human eye because ठीक है. So just okay. So just shit. Chalo, ठीक है. Everyone, please switch on your videos. What happened?
So did we already
Okay.
do the human eye?
We are going to revise. Not we have not done the human eye in revision.
No revision only. The first revision that we did was the human eye, right? Then we started live.
No. Basically, that was NCERT exemplar questions. We have done the exemplar of NCR, basically human eye and light first. Then we have started the revision phase. Right? Sure. Harshit, Galvin, Ibad, what happened? Please switch on your videos. That's great. Okay. So basically, in the human eye chapter, like human eye is basically more like I think so 90% chapter is basically theoretical based. Only 10% is the portion is basically based on the defect of vision. So we need to find the basically focal length, power of a lens, right? And the near point and far point of a human eye of a human eye. Ibad, are you there in the class? I think so. Chalo, theek hai, right. So first of all, we are going to cover the theory portion, right? And we'll do the numerical portion. Okay, once. Sure, that's great. Once we complete the theory portion. So basically, the first topic of this chapter is the human eye chapter. It means that in this topic, we are going to study about the properties of human eye, like and you can say the different functions of the different components of the human eye, right? So this is a well-labeled diagram. In the exams, there could be a 5 marker or a 3 marker that draw a well-labeled diagram of a human eye, right? Maha, you would like to say something? Okay, check. Right, so this is a 3 marker, and if they want to give you a 5 marker, so they will add that what is the function of iris, what is the function of pupil, what is the function of cornea, or they could ask you that please mention any 2 functions of the human eye, right? Like the components of the function. Okay, so that's how a 5 marker can be created, right, everyone? Okay, so basically now let's understand the first thing, right? So basically the first component of the human eye that we are going to discuss is the iris. So iris is a part in the human eye which is a colored or pigmented structure. You must have seen that your color of the islands is a blue, black, brown. Like everyone has its own color, right? So that pigmented color structure is called iris. That basically controls the amount of light that should enter into the human eye, right? That is a thing that allows the human eye, basically the light entering in the human eye. Okay, Ibad.
Yes.
Okay, I will be sharing the notes to you as well. No need to worry, right?
Okay.
Because, have you received the notes of light?
Uh, I don't know. It's on my mom's.
Okay, so please check it. If you do not get the notes yet, I will share both the notes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Chalo. Okay, so okay, the iris is the you can say pigmented structure which allows the, or you can say which controls the amount of light entering into the human eye, right? Next thing is that, and basically the iris function is to give the pigmented, you can say the color to that structure. Okay, iris is responsible for that pigmented structure. Okay, the color of the lens, that is whether it's blue, black, or anything, right? So it is due to the iris as well. Clear, everyone? So that is a secondary function, but the main function of the iris is to control the amount of light entering into the human eye. Next is the pupil. So pupil and iris are just like the are dependent on each other. You can understand in this manner that iris and pupil both are dependent on each other. How basically the pupil adjusts the size according to the light entering in our eye, and the adjustment is done by the iris, right? So that's why pupil is controlled by the iris itself. Okay, and this pupil basically will expand and shrink depending on the situation. Like suppose that if you want to, if the light is very like dim, very low, so the iris will the pupil will expand just to allow the light into the eye, right? It will expand more, so more light will enter into the eye. That will enhance our vision, in the dark room. You must have seen that when you are present in a dark room, you have to expand your eyes like this, broaden your eyes so that you can, that the more light could enter into the pupil, and that's how you will get a clear image at least, right? And if the sun is like, if you are going in a very bright day out, like if you are going outside in a very bright day or some like in a very bright room, so you have to basically shrink your eye so that the minimum amount of light is basically we should enter into the eye without affecting the retina, because if the more the high intensity of light will enter into the eye, so it will affect and damage the retina and the eye cells. Okay, so that's why, so pupil will basically adjust the size of that black hole present in our eye lens. Okay, if the light received by the eye, if the light received by the eye, then the iris contract is low received by the eye. Okay. Then the iris contracts the pupil and reduces the amount of light entering the eye. Okay, so that will reduce the intensity of light that is basically entering into the eye. Am I clear to all of you, everyone? Please do let me know if you have any doubt so far.
No.
Any doubt so far to anyone?
No.
Sure,
No,
check,
sir.
that's great. Okay. Maha, Galvin, Harshit, Chiana, sorry, Gal and Ibad.
No.
Sure, check.
No.
Oh, okay, that's great. Next is if the amount of light received is small, sorry, it's high, it's large. Yeah, large is large. Okay. And if the amount of light received is very small, then the iris will expand the pupil so that more light could enter into the eye lens in the eye, right, everyone? So that's why it will enhance your vision. Next is the next component, or you can say part of the eye that we are going to discuss is the ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles are basically are the muscles that holds the eye lens in the proper shape. And this is also responsible for the power of accommodation of the eye lens. So you must have seen that we can suddenly change our focal length depending on the situation or the object placed, right? We can easily focus the nearby object. We can easily focus the far object as well. So that is called power of accommodation. And this can be happened only due to the ciliary muscles, right, everyone? And our eye lens is placed at a fixed point, right? So the ciliary muscles are responsible for that, you can say, position. Okay, it basically holds the eye lens. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
next is eye lens. So as you must have seen that eye lens, what eye lens do basically, eye lens basically refracts the light on the retina. It basically the light when it will passing through the eye lens, so it will converge the light rays. Okay, because the lens installed, or you can say present in our eye, is basically a convex lens, right, everyone? There you go. In figure, it's a kind of convex lens now, right? Okay.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next is basically retina. So retina has two functions. First function is that it behaves like a screen. Obviously, we need a screen because the image formed by the human eye is a real image. So it means that we should have a screen to obtain that image, right, everyone? If we are not able to obtain that image, so how is it possible to see that image as well, right? So that's why retina will act as a screen as well in the human eye. And the another function of the retina is basically to change the light signals into the electrical signals. So you must, like, our brain works on the electrical signals. Do you know this thing, everyone? Our brain works on the electrical signals. Impulses, nervous system is all about electrical pulses, right? So there is a electricity in our body as well. So you can see this thing, like we are basically a current machine, chalti firti current machine, right? So that's how the image, basically that's why we need the brain works on the electrical signals. So that's why the retina converts, because brain does not understand the light signals. So that's why retina will convert the light signals into the electrical signals, right? So that's how the image is formed, or it is manipulated. That's how we see the image, because the converted image will be manipulated by the brain, and that's how we see the image or the world itself. Am I clear to all of you, everyone? Does anybody
Yes, sir.
have any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Chalo, that's great. Okay. Next portion is the cornea. So cornea is the outermost layer. You must have seen that our eye has a very whitish and transparent outermost layer. There's a kind of jelly, right? So that jelly portion is called cornea. So cornea has the major function. It will light are coming parallel. Like light are coming in from all the direction. Our eye is basically a spherical thing. So light will be coming, striking from all the directions. Like, so it means, so what does cornea do basically? So it basically refracts the maximum amount of light towards the lens, because more the light will enter into the eye, more the picture, the picture created will be more clear, right? So we must have seen in the camera as well. So you know this thing that higher the megapixel, higher will be the clarity of the image. Like 108 megapixel, 200 megapixel. We have seen, like, it's a very normal thing right now, right? So that's what does it mean? That it will capture more light rays. It will basically allows the more light rays to enter. So that's how same like our eye also do the same thing. The more light will enter into the eye due to the cornea, it will refract towards the islands, and that's how the more light rays will enter into the eye, and the image formed would be more sharp and clear. That's how we are able to distinct the objects, right, everyone? So that's what cornea do. So cornea is the outermost layer, and it basically refracts the light from 65 to 85%. So maximum, if suppose there is a question at which point the maximum refraction occurs, this is a one marker: eyelids, cornea, iris, pupil. We'll say that cornea. So cornea will allows the light to refract at most, right, everyone?
Yes.
Chalo, that's great. Okay. Next is aqueous humor. So aqueous humor is a kind of liquid, jelly type liquid. Like you must have seen that a car gel, like basically fragrance gel that we use in our car. So it's like that jelly thing that is present in the humor eye. Is basically nourishes the eyelids and the cornea, because our eyelids and cornea does not have any blood supply, right? So they need to survive. They need the nourishment as well. They need the proteins, nutrients as well. The nutrients and the proteins are provided by the aqueous humor to the eyelids and the cornea, right, everyone? And it keeps the eye inflated in the proper shape, right, everyone?
Yes.
And you must have seen that whenever you touch the eye, it's a little like there is a liquid present in our eye at all the time. That is aqueous humor, right? Next is vitreous humor. So vitreous humor is a liquid that basically like almost vitreous and aqueous are very similar to
Yeah.
each other. I am saying vitreous humor and aqueous humor are very similar to each other. Vitreous humor. This is the spelling. I think so. It's not clear to you, right? So
So is the aqueous humor the tears?
no, that's not clear. Because I don't know the biology as much because that's a little part of biology. So you can ask from your biology teacher. That she can explain you well about the tears. I just know that that is a mixture of salt and water. Tears are the mixtures of salt and water. But I'm not sure whether it is reduced by the aqueous humor or vitreous humor, because I've not studied biology in 11th and 12th standard, so I don't have any idea. Since 10th standard, I've not studied the biology. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So vitreous humor provides nutrients to the eye, and it sticks the it sticks the retina at the proper place. Suppose our retina is stick basically is stick by the vitreous humor, and it keeps the eye inflated. So our eye is in a spherical shape. So vitreous humor is present in the eye, just like a ball is filled with water. You must have seen a balloon filled with water, right? So a balloon is filled with water, so it makes the balloon in a spherical shape, right? So that's what the vitreous humor do. It provides the proper spherical shape to the human eye. Okay, I'm
So is
writing
it
it here.
like a water? Is it liquid?
That is also a jelly type liquid, just similar to the aqueous humor, but it basically keeps the eye in spherical shape, right? If you fill up a small balloon with water, so that will make it spherical. So that water is basically acting as nothing but vitreous humor to keep the balloon inflated. Okay. So both the humor, or basically aqueous humor and vitreous humor, gives the nutrition and nourishment to the human eye, right? Is there anyone who is having doubt till now? Please do let me know, everyone. Harshit, Ibad, Galvin, and Maha.
No.
Hello, Faizan.
No,
Assalamu
sir.
alaikum, Sumaya. Faizan, how are you, bacho? Why
Good.
did you join so late, Faizan and Sumaya?
Sir, I went outside, that's why.
Uh, please switch on your video, Faizan. I've completed the part of human eye. So basically, this video is getting recorded. So you can check out the recording once the class is completed for the missing portion. Okay, Faizan?
Okay.
Please switch on your video. Yeah. So now these are the things that is present in the human eye. Like one more thing is there, optic nerve. So optic nerve is the nerve that basically carries the signal, electrical signal, to the brain, right? So that is the function of optic nerves, right? It acts like a wire. The electricity needs wire. So that is acting like a wire, right? Chalo, that's great. Next is, okay, now let's talk about the basic properties and the characteristic of the human eye. The first thing is that a normal human eye can see the distinct object as well as the nearby objects clearly due to the power of accommodation. Yeah. So due to the power of accommodation, we are able to see the distant as well as the nearby objects. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know. Chalo, that's great. Okay, next is the ray of light coming from a distant object are parallel. Okay, so if suppose that an object is at distant, it means that is present at very far point or at infinity. So the light rays would be coming parallel to the principal axis. So there is suppose that there is a principal axis. Okay, so the light rays would be parallel. Am I clear? Okay, and the light rays coming from a nearby objects will be diverging. Suppose that this is a point object, so that this is a eye, this is the eye. So the light rays coming would be like this, diverging light rays. Am I clear to all of you? I think so. There is a picture as well. Okay, no picture is there. Okay, no worries. Okay, just a second. Let me check if I've pasted in the another batch itself. देखो, I've drawn it here. I just forgot to draw in the another notebook. So the islands, basically, as you can see this thing, when the light is coming from a distant object, so the rays would be parallel. When the light is coming, when the light rays are coming from the nearby object, so it would be diverging like this. Clear? And when the islands become thick and focal length decreases when the object is placed nearby, it means that when we have to focus on a nearby object, our islands will become thick, right? And when the object is very far away from the eye, so the islands would become thin. Am I clear? Clear, Maha, Ibad, Harshit, Galvin, Faizan, and Sumaya.
Yes, sir.
Sumaya, are you there in the class? Sumaya?
Yes.
Okay, so Sumaya, please switch on your video. Okay. Yeah, please switch on it, Sumaya. And Galvin, you as well. Why did you switch off the video? Everyone, if you have any issue whilst like if you are not able to switch on the video due to the internet issue or something like that, so that is accepted. But if you are in there in the class and you have not, you don't have any kind of issue, so please open your camera so that we can facially interact. Because I cannot see your faces, how would I know that you are getting my point or not? And even if you're attentive or not, the main reason is to find the attentiveness of the students in the class itself. So the class will not be of any worth if you are not able to interact with me facially or something like that. So it's a request to all of you, if you are sitting in the class, so for 1 hour, please switch on the video without any hesitation. And if you have any issue like internet issue or something like that, so that's acceptable. Okay. Okay, so try. Okay, one more thing. If you are like, suppose that your camera is not working or of the device, so please try to switch the device. Okay, so that we can easily conduct the classes face to face. Okay, it's a humble request to all of you. Okay, please do not. Okay, mind it. I just want that if you interact facially, you would be able to you would be able to understand in a very proper manner or more efficiently. So that is the reason behind it. Okay, that's great. Chalo. Next thing, a normal human eye has a power of accommodation which enables object as far as infinity, as I have told you, and as close as 25 centimeter. It means that the nearby object, the 25 centimeter is the distance from the eye at which we can see the two object distinctive. Okay, distinctly. We can differentiate between them. Okay, without any constraint on the eye. Am I clear to all of you? Next is the
Yes.
farthest
Yeah.
point from the eye at which an object can be seen is basically called as far point of the eye. It means that if you want to see a very far point, so our eye can see the farthest point. So that point for your eye would be considered as the farthest point or far point of the eye. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Next is basically, and the far point of the human eye would be infinity. Right? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Next thing is that the near point up to which the eye can see the objects clearly without any strain is called the near point of the eye. Okay, so without any strain, we can see the object. So that point is called as the near point of the eye, and the near point of the human eye is 25 centimeter from the eye. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes. Yes.
Sure, that's it. Okay. Any doubt so far to anyone?
No. No.
Chalo, see. Next is the minimum distance at which the object must be placed so that the normal eye may see it clearly or can see it clearly without any strain. So that point is called least distance of distinct vision. It means that if the object is placed at 20, so that distance is basically 25 centimeter. So we can see the object without any constraint. So that is called the least distance of distinct vision. Clear? Okay, any doubt so
Yes,
far?
sir.
Yes, Maha, you were
No.
saying something? Maha, you were saying something?
No.
Okay. Okay, next thing is basically the range of the human eye. So range of the human eye is basically from 25 centimeter to infinity. So that's it. So next is basically this is the fill in the blanks. That could be a one marker in your school exams that most of the refraction light entering the eye occurs at outer surface of cornea, right? And the next is the part of the eye sensitive to light is called retina. And the part of eye which alters the size of pupil is called iris. Okay, the part of eye which alters the size of pupil. So I've told you that iris is responsible for the you can say contraction and the expansion of the pupil, right? Next is when the light is dim, the pupil becomes large. The iris controls the amount of light entering the eye. Okay, when the light is dim, the pupil will become large and it will expand, right, everyone? The ciliary muscles controls the shape of the eyelids. So as I've told you that we are able to basically focus the objects like in a very fraction of seconds. So that has happened due to the ciliary muscles, right? Okay. So basically to bring light from a distant object to a focus on the retina of the eye, the convex lens needs to be thinner. So obviously if the light are coming from the infinity, the lens would be thinner, then we are able to focus those rays at the retina if the lens is thinner, right? And if the light is coming from a nearby object, so the lens should be thicker to focus the light rays on the retina. Am I clear to all of you? Harshit, Maha, Galvin,
Yes.
Yes.
and
Yes.
Faizan and Sumaya. चलो ठीक है ये बात
Visit app.
ठीक है. Yes, someone said something. Gianna, how are you, Gianna? How? Are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Why did you join so late, Gianna? It's almost like half of the class.
So actually, I just came back from
Okay,
school.
check. No worries. So late. Is there
Because
is your school? What? Yes.
we had stay back, sir.
Stay back. Check. Check. No worries. Check. Take it. Just a second. Let me see something here. One more thing, everyone. I just missed that one thing. So there are two cells present in the retina. Those two cells are responsible for the dim light and the light of sensation. So rods are the rod shaped cell, just like this. You must have you seen the rods? Rod is basically cylindrical and the semicircle is fixed like that. Rod. Okay, so that is the shape. So that's why the name is formed. The name of the cells are rods. So rods are the rod-shaped cell present in the retina of an eye, which are sensitive to dim light. It means that if you are able to see the image or if you are able to see something in the dim light, so that rod cells are activated in the dim light, and that's how we are able to see the surrounding. Okay, with the help of the rod-shaped cell. Am I clear?
Yes.
So rod-shaped cells basically act only in the dim light. They basically enhance the, you can say, vision. They will tell you that like what is there in the surrounding. Okay, they will basically give enhance your vision in the surrounding in the dim light. Okay, next is cone. So basically the shapes of the cells are a type cone shape. So cones are cone shaped cell present in the retina of an human eye, which are sensitive to bright light. So cones are sensitive to bright light. If it means that if you are in a bright room, so the cells would be activated are cones. Okay. So Ibad and Faizan, what are you doing, Vicho? Please focus on the screen. Okay. So which are sensitive to bright light. Cone cells cause the sensation of color. It means that the sensation, the colorness of this world is basically due to the cone cells. Okay. Cone cells are responsible to give the color to the vision. Okay, they only act in the bright light. So rod shaped cells are activated in the dim light, and cone shapes cells are activated in the bright light. They do not work in the dim light. The cones do not function in dim light. It's very, very important to understand. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Is there anyone? Yes, 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 Harshit, you want to ask something?
Sir, like actually I don't have any doubts. So I'm just want to confirm that you will discuss the paper of my like physics or math.
Physics, light chapter.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how the sensation of color is basically produced by the cone shaped cells. Okay. So this is all about the properties of the light, basically the human eye. Okay. So I'll share the notes as well to you, Bacho. Okay. After this class, no need to worry. Next thing, let's discuss the defects of vision. So in this class, Bacho, I will be basically covering the theory. I will in the next class, what we'll do is that we will complete the ray diagrams as well. I will basically tell you how to draw the ray diagrams again of the myopic eye and the hypermetropic eye, because two ray diagrams are there. So that will not take half an hour, more than half an hour, right? I will draw the scratch because some new students are there like Ibad and Faizan. So that's why I'll be covering that portion from the scratch. Clear, everyone? So it will be basically a kind of revisit to all of you,
Sir,
right?
can you show me
So
the
if
fill in the blanks? I'll take a screenshot.
okay, sure, Faizan, why not? Yeah, please do.
Okay, done.
Take care. Okay, so in the next class, right now I'm covering the theory. So in the next class, what we'll do, I will basically draw the ray diagrams from the scratch itself. Okay, so that you will be having a kind of revisit for the ray diagrams as well in the myopia and hypermetropia. Okay, okay, Bad and Sezan, clear?
Okay. Yes.
Sumaya, please be interactive in the class, Bache. Okay, so let's understand the defects of vision. So defects of vision is basically the kind of you can say a kind of defect, like something like, so the eye do not work normally. In that thing, eyes do not work normally, right? So basically what happens is that like whether you are not able to see the nearby objects or you are not able to see the distant objects. Clear? So Maha, you are having the concave lenses, right? Faizan, which lenses do you have? Concave and convex?
There's like one eye convex and one eye
Achha.
concave.
Okay, it means that you have basically like one is hypermetrop and one is myopic eye.
Yes.
Chalo, ठीक है, ठीक है. So I think like in the like teenage, like in the teenage, the most of the chances are there that the defect would be myopia. Most, I'm saying that around the 70 to 80% chances. There is a very rare chance that the person is in the teenage and he's having or she is having hypermetropia, right? That the hypermetropia is developed in the late 30s or 40s, but in the teenage, myopia is the main defect that is basically developed in the teenage, because I am also a myopic person. Okay, so but I do not wear like glasses. Okay. So let's understand there are two defects. First one is myopia, second one is hypermetropia. Other two are also there. That is basically due to the aging of the human eye, right? The first is myopia. So myopia is the defect of vision due to which the person is not able to see the distant objects clearly. It means that we are not able to see the objects that are very far from the eye, right? So, okay. So, and we can see the nearby objects very clearly, right? So Maha, can you see the nearby objects clearly if you do not wear spectacles?
My eyesight is really bad, so I can see only this much.
Okay, that okay. It means that you have very weak eyesight. Chalo, koi baat nahi. Okay, next thing is basically the far point of this eye is basically suffering from myopia is less than infinity. It means that the myopic eye far point is less than infinity, right? It means that the far point is shifted towards the eye. Suppose that this is eye, right? So if this is eye and this was far point, so the light rays coming would be parallel, right? But right now, the far point is shifted like here, right? So it is shifting towards the islands, right? So that's why the far point is less than infinity and it is shifted towards the islands. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Any doubt so far to anyone?
No.
Achha, one more thing, in the exams, like in some of the answer sheets, I've seen that like the students have mentioned the other causes. I can understand, but the main causes are these causes, two causes, main causes. Right, myopia can be caused by other factors as well. That's not the restriction, but at least if you're writing the causes, so you should have mentioned these things at least. After two, you can write any of the cause, but these two causes should be there if you're writing the answer. That if the question is asking that what are the cause, what is the cause behind the myopia, so you have to at least write down this thing. And apart from these two, you can write any cause, because these two are the major cause, right everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So far defect of this eye is caused by the first is due to the high converging power of the eye lens. It means that the convex lens basically converges the rays before in front of the retina. The rays cannot reach the retina due to the high converging power, right? It means that, can you tell me, is it shorter focal length due to myopia? The focal length has decreased or increased? Can anyone tell me? Please do let me know. Due to the myopia, is focal length decreased or increased? Please do let me know, everyone.
Decreased.
In the chat, Jaldi say. Because if someone says in the class, so everybody says they think decrease or increase. It's a kind of rally. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है फैजान, ठीक है बात, ठीक है Maha, Galvin, Harshit, Gianna, and Sumaya. Okay, Galvin said increase, that decreases, increases. Okay, so Smaya, please do let me know the answer of this, the question that I have asked. She has left. Chalo, theek hai. So basically, as you can see this thing, the focal, the islands becomes thicker, and due to that, the focal length will decrease. That's why the rays are not getting converged at the exact position of the retina, right? So it means that the focal length is decreased, not increased. Focal length will get decreased in the myopia. Focal length decrease means that our eyes will not focus at a larger distance, right? So that's why we're not, our infinity point has shifted towards the eye, right? And another reason is basically due to eyeball being too long. So the another reason could be that due to, in place of spherical, the islands will become, sorry, eyeball will become a kind of oval shape like egg. And okay, so that is also the reason. Like some of the students have written that due to the excessive use of phone and in inheritance and all the things. That is also the reason. I'm not saying those reasons are wrong, but these two are main reasons for that. Okay, given in NCRT itself. So as you can see, you are going to give the boards. I'm not saying that if your answer is wrong, but you are going to give the boards. The teacher will see the thing that whether you have used the word converging power of the eyeball being too long or not, because they don't have that much of amount of time to check each and every answer. They just see the keyword is there. Yes, they will give the marks. Keyword should be there. That is the thing. That is the kind of, you can say, marking scheme. Okay, everyone? Chalo, that's great. So this is the ray diagram. So we'll discuss the ray diagram in the next class. No need to worry about right now. Right. So now let's understand the, one more thing, that as you can see this thing, the islands used to correct the myopic vision is basically concave lens. So concave lens will basically decrease the converging power, and hence the island will act normally, like a normal eye. Okay? As you can see this thing, light rays has passed toward, from the concave lens, it diverges the rays, then the rays converged at the the convex lens, and it is forming at retina itself. Okay, we'll discuss it in detail. No need to worry in the next class. Okay, so myopia is corrected by using spectacles containing concave lenses, right? So concave lenses is used to correct the myopic vision. Okay, the whole purpose of using a concave lens is to reduce the converging power of eye lens. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone who is having doubt till now? Please do let me know, everyone.
No, sir.
Yes. Okay, check. Okay. We'll also discuss the numerical portion in the next class itself. Okay. So next thing is the hypermetropia. So hypermetropia is also a kind of defect. In that defect, we are not able to see the nearby objects clearly. Suppose that you must have seen that some of the aged person are not able to read the newspaper. They have to use, they basically read the newspaper like just in front of the face, right? And you must have seen that some of the student, like people are also not able to use the phone from a distance like this. They have to use the phone like this, okay, very near to the eye. So that is due to the hypermetropia. So the person is not able to see the nearby objects clearly, but he can see the distant objects clearly, right? Far objects. So in that case, the near point is increased. So due to the hypermetropia, the near point, it means that the focal length of the islands is increased. That's why the near point is shifted away from the islands. It is greater than 25 centimeter, right? What is the minimum distance, everyone, for the eye?
Sir.
Or you can say, what? Yes, Maha.
So you said that if a hypermetropic, yeah, person will like have to keep the object like very near to see it properly, but then they can see the near distant objects clearly, but not the nearby. But how if they keep it near, how will they see it?
How they will?
Like
No,
you said,
basically,
no, you said
um,
that if they want to see it properly, they have to keep it like really close to their
no, no,
eyes.
I'm saying that they develop a kind of habit, but in actual, they have to either they have to take the phone very far from the eye, from the normal point of vision, or they have to use so that the intensity of the light, that basically the whether it's mobile phone or the, you can say, newspaper or the book, They can, that's why the image would form be enlarged. That's why they can read the words. Now, our eye is a convex lens. If you basically place the object between focus and optical center, there would be an enlarged image. Magnifying glass. So our eye lens will act as a magnifying glass. That's why the words would be very enlarged if we keep the object very near to the eye. That's why they do this thing. We have two possibilities, right, Maha? Other is they have to use the phone like this very far from the eye so that they can see the distant objects clearly. Or the second reason is that they will use the eye lens as the, you can say, the magnifying glass. They will use this like this. Yeah, they will read each and every word from this. Okay, so that is the possible case. Last case of the convex lens, right? So that's how the real world is basically linked with physics. So if you link the physics with the real world, na, so the physics will be very easy for you. Okay. Okay. So that's a very good question, because that will basically tell you that there are two consequences of this defect as well. Okay, but like if the person is able to like this, so the hand will hurt in a very short amount of time. So if they keep it like this, so they can easily read it for a longer amount of time. So that's why they use like this. Okay. Chalo. Next is the near point of the human eye is more than 25 centimeter. That's, it is shifted towards the infinity, right? Next is the hypermetropia is caused by, due to low converging power of the eye lens. It means that the light rays are not getting converged by the convex lens, right? The focal length will increase. In that case, focal length will increase. That's why the image formed is beyond 25 centimeter. Clear? Next is the eyeball being too short. Suppose that the eyeball is short, so that's why the rays were getting converged at the retina. But when the eyeball is basically shortened or basically too short, so the rays will basically pass through the retina, right? And it will make the image behind the retina. Is this clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone.
Yes,
Gianna,
sir.
Maha, Galvin, Sumaya, Ibad, and Harshit. Only Maha is responding in the class. Like nobody is
Yes,
responding. It just
Yeah.
seems that everybody is just want to pass their time in the class itself. It is a revision
no,
class. You have to cross
no,
question. You have some doubts as well. So this is a kind of class right now. You can polish your doubts and the concepts. So that's why these classes are getting conducted. The syllabus is done. I know this thing, everyone. You are also preparing for it. But if you are giving your time, so please be interactive and be, you can say, attentive in the class. Okay. Sure, that's great. Next is okay. So these things we will also discuss in the next part. And basically, the correction of hypermetropia is due to the convex lens, because convex lens is a converging, so it will increase the converging power, because the converging power is decreased. So that's why we use another convex lens to increase the converging power of the eye lens. Am I clear to all of you? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the reason for the eye lens, the convex lens used in the hypermetropia. Okay. So whole purpose of using a convex lens here is to increase the converging power of the eye lens. Okay. So for the myopia, concave lens; for hypermetropia, convex lens. Okay. Next is basically presbyopia. So presbyopia is a kind of disease in which the person is not able to see the distant object, or he or she cannot see the nearby as well as the distant object. Both the possibilities are there. Presbyopia will act as the hypermetropia itself. Some of the and this disease is developed when the person is basically a little bit aged, like 40 plus, due to the basically the weakness of the human body. So eye will also get weakened. So that's why this presbyopia is developed in the human eye. Okay. So in the majority of the cases, the person cannot see the nearby as well as the far objects clearly. So that's why the lens used is bifocal lens here. Okay. So in the upper phase, the concave lens is used to see the distant object, and in the lower phase, the convex lens is used for the reading. Okay, to see the nearby objects. Yeah. So you must have seen that the aged senior citizen person used to read the newspaper, like the spectacles are placed at the tip of the nose, right? They used to read the newspaper like this. So that because they are using the convex lens at that time, but when they want to see the distant object, they basically push the spectacles on the middle of the nose. Okay, so to see the distant objects, right, everyone? So that's why bifocal length is used in it. Any doubt so far to anyone?
No.
No.
Yeah, this is presbyopia is not a like disease that is developed like by any kind of weakening, but it is developed due to the aging of the human body. Okay, and this is a normal thing because in like when the human body ages, so the parts or the ciliary muscles and all the things cannot hold that much amount of you can say the workload, right? So that's why we need the other instruments to basically correct our visions and all the things, right? I must have seen that in the like senior citizens are not able to walk properly due to the you can say the pain in the bones, right? That is not happened due to the any kind of disease. This is due to the aging of the human body. This is a nature, right? So, chicken. So presbyopia is that. Next is last one is cataract. So cataract is a condition in which the lens of the eye becomes a milky, cloudy thing. Okay, it basically it will develop or it will result into a blurred vision. Like you are not able to see the things clearly. It will be a kind of blurry. You must have seen that when you click a picture. If you just basically shake the camera a little bit, right? If you do not basically give time to process the image will get blurred, right? So that same will happen with the human eye. So that milky or cloudy region will develop the blurred vision. It means that the image produced will not be clear, and this vision is restored only by the surgery. Like it cannot be restored by the any kind of glasses or something like that.